show? Where my people's at? I like that. Bang on your chest if you the best. We be number one, ain't nothing else. Diamonds on my head, let the crown tell it. Make way, man, let me do my do. K-I-I-N-G. We the crown jewels, we don't deal with no fools, yo. K-I-I-N-G. Next on deck, dedicated to the queens, go Q-U-E-E-N. And just in case you ain't heard me, I'ma say it again, it go Q-U-E-E-N. We give a toast to the most because the rain never ends. Yeah, a little louder. I like that, go. Yo, louder. Let's go.
Welcome to the 2025 ARL Qualifier 2 Prediction Show. I'm your host, Izzy. If you're new here, I'm going to be joined by some analysts, and they're going to participate in a series of trivia games, and they're going to be competing for points, and this will kind of facilitate discussion for ahead of our ARL June Qualifier. If you're new to ARL, it's a series of 6 off-season events run by Team 498, sponsored by the Diamondbacks and Honeywell. These events are free to Arizona teams, and they will culminate in a district-style championship. So we're going to get into the show this evening. Before we bring on our analysts, let's recap our first prediction show, ARL May. ARL May brought some amazing highs for Arizona teams and some incredible lows for our analysts. Let's see how they each fared after ARL May. Our guests are now struggled a bit in trivia and in Name That Robot, entering May with only 2 points. So some of the games we play, those points are tallied the night of, and some we'll tally after the event. Arnell managed to recover some ground in accurately predicting 3 of our over-unders and picked 10-506 to make the playoffs. Our guest today will enter with our previous guest points, so our guest will enter with 6 points. Gatlin had a similarly shaky start to his season, with only 1 correct trivia and 2 correct mystery robots. He managed to predict 3 of our 5 over-unders correctly, and also picked 10-506 to make the May playoffs. Gatlin enters today's episode with 7 points. Second place goes to longtime friend of ARL Twitch, Luke. While he had a rough showing last month, Luke was extremely accurate in over-unders with 4 correct takes and correctly predicted 2403 to rank top 5 and for 10-256 to make the playoffs. Luke enters today's episode with 12 points. And last but certainly not least, our ARL predictions leader is Shelby. Last month, Shelby struggled with trivia but came back strong during Name That Robot, earning 4 points that night. After ARL May, she got 3 of the 5 over-under correct and took the crown by nailing her win place show with a pick of 2403, 9432, and 7703. Shelby enters today's episode with 16 points. So with that, we're going to send it over and welcome our analysts. Our returning analysts will briefly introduce themselves, and then we will introduce our guest, Scott. So Luke, do you want to take it away?
Classic. Hi. I can take it away. Thanks for having me, Izzy. Happy to be here. That recap was depressing, to say the least. A bit of a hole after the first month, but I'm looking forward to next month. And by next month, I mean this month. Before we get started, I have a couple ARL updates for everybody. Number 1, no team update. So usually I use this opportunity to talk about our team update or anything that's changing. No team update. Number 2, and this is relevant for our show this evening, due to our registration number, we are going to for sure have Phantoms at this event this weekend. If you're unfamiliar to the concept, we use what we call Phantom Robots in ARL to add teams to the event so that we can facilitate more matches, basically. Like if we last event we only had 1 Phantom, and you might have noticed our cycle times between matches were much larger because we wanted to not have teams play back-to-back matches and then just like wheel out a bucket of bolts onto the field. That's not going to work. So gave teams time to fix things, change batteries, do whatever between their back-to-backs. And that's just with one Phantom. So at this event this coming weekend, we're going to have more than one Phantom. So again, we don't have 25-minute cycle times. Put the emphasis on as many matches as we can. So the odds that you might get a 2v3 or a 2v2 match are going to be a little bit higher at this event than the next one. So if our analysts are keen and they pay attention to that might influence some of their over-unders later. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for having me, Izzy. I'm a mentor on 498. It's also ARL program director. Yeah, excited to be here.
Well, we are excited to have you, as always. Shelby, would you like to briefly reintroduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Shelby. I am currently the head coach for Team 581 in San Jose, California, but I'm an alumni of 2046, the Coconuts, and I mentored 1011 Crush down in Tucson for a while, so spent a lot of time in Arizona FRC, and current volunteer for ARL, I suppose.
Yes. Can't forget that. Gatlin?
Hey, I'm Gatlin, mentor for 498, and really the important thing is that I'm trying to get more points this time than last month.
Gatlin is ready to win. All right, and then our guest this evening is Scott. Scott, would you like to introduce yourself in maybe a little more depth?
My name's Scott. I'm currently on Team 9408, the Warbots. Previously, I was an alum on Team 687, the Nerd Herd, down in Southern California. So I'm surrounded by Arizona natives. So hopefully I can bring some pride down to Southern California.
Absolutely. And so those are our analysts. I forgot to mention it earlier. You guys probably see on the screen now prediction show prizes. We teased it a little bit last time, but each of our analysts are in a fixed position. So Luke, Gatlin, and Shelby are all in the same spot they were last week. Scott is competing in our guest spot. So each of those boxes have a letter associated with them, and that letter has a prize associated with it. So whatever analyst or position wins will win a prize for the ARL Championship. These prizes include a key volunteer human match, a mentor drive match, a top 6 exhibition match, and my personal favorite, an all algae exhibition match. I think that would be super fun. So that is what is at stakes here. Please participate in the chat as we play games tonight. It was a lot of fun last month hearing everybody's takes and guesses. You guys, maybe you kept score. You'll have to let us know. But with that, we are going to head into our games for the evening. For our analysts that were at the last ARL, before we get into anything, do you guys have any, particular takeaways or, interesting,
Oh, Izzy, I broke the audio. Give me 2 seconds. It's my fault. This is my fault. I broke the audio. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity to blame Slide Guy for breaking the audio. But I think... All right, let's try again. Does anyone want to answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully people can hear me. I was pretty impressed by the level of play, especially for a May event. It's usually a little slow getting started, which is not surprising at all because it's May and that's crazy to be doing FRC in May. But I was really impressed by just the level of play of everyone. I really liked 996. It was their first ARL ever, I'm pretty sure, and they had a super solid auto contribution that they were making, and I don't know, it just seemed like there were a lot more robots scoring a lot more points this year, and that was really cool.
I totally agree. I think there was probably only a small handful of robots that really just needed for lunch to happen to really come online. But a lot of teams just performing very well very early in the day.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, with that, what
was the question, Izzy? I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
We're having some crazy audio stuff.
It's Yeah. Okay. Luke, the question was, what any observations of note from ARL May?
I think that the big thing is the early ranking high of some of our teams. I think as the events progress and we add more robots into the mix, the early points gathered at these events are going to really matter when we're talking about, instead of being our 4 alliances, we're talking about 8 alliances for the ARL Championship. So if I'm thinking about attending, I would look at earlier the better, because the odds of ranking higher and going further into the playoffs are better.
That is a good note. Definitely, want to get in as much playtime as you can, but if you are limited to only a couple events, it could be strategically advantageous to take up an early event. So, any other remarks?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to see. Oh, sorry, Scott.
No, go for it.
Yeah, I just thought it was interesting to see how many teams had new drivers. I think maybe some of those robots were not performing at the same level as what we saw at the regionals or champs. But I expect those teams to just continue to get better and better through the ARL season, which is pretty exciting, something I'm looking forward to.
From an outsider's perspective, seeing 0 robots tipped or fallen robots is an incredible stat. There was an event I attended this year that had 3 robots on the same alliance tip over, so seeing 0 robots over 30 matches plus playoffs is very, very impressive.
Yeah, right.
Especially
And
with new drivers.
Yeah, especially with new drivers. And we talked last episode, 2 episodes ago, or at the first prediction show, that like all the B-bots that people are adding, they're usually like drivetrains now. But as they add things to them and they get taller, and in the rush of the summer, will we see more tippage, more exploration of gravity? Who knows?
That will definitely be an important thing to consider when you're pre-scouting the team list that we get before the show. See who's tall. So with that, we're going to go into our over-unders for the evening. We did give everybody a chance to put in their guesses early. Everybody did do that except for Luke.
Do me last. Do me last.
for your prompt response. So if Shelby, you want to start with our over-unders have adjusted slightly. So we have replaced the 2v3 matches with co-op, because there is a significant number of 2v3 matches, I think, with Phantoms, theoretically or technically. So we replaced that, and then also we have Friday load-in. So you're going to guess, over under on the number of robots loading in on Friday. The line for these, I'm going to remind everybody of the line, or we'll do that, I think, one by one. So if you guys want to kick off where you guys stand with the co-op, we'll kick things off there.
I'd love to.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay, me too. I was shocked that there was 0 co-op at ARL 1. There weren't a ton of teams with algae ability, which is fine, but I don't remember who was cranking the processor. I feel like it was 9091 maybe.
I think it was 8012 Apex, right? Or
yeah,
they were really good. You quote love that robot. You said
yeah. I don't have my notes anymore, but if it was 8012, they're not going to be at this event, which is unfortunate. But I do think we will see co-op. Co-op, I believe, was the tiebreaker for first and second. And it would be advantageous. Plasma doesn't do algae, but 498 does, pretty sure, hopefully. And it wouldn't be too surprising to me to see teams 2403 doesn't have this option, but 498 could co-op on both sides if they wanted to force the co-op, or things like that, if it's coming down to that in big matches. And so I don't know, I just suspect we will see at least one co-op at this event. I will be even more shocked if there is still no co-op.
Yeah, 2 events in a row would be wild. I am taking the under. So I'm going the wild route. I gotta make up points somewhere. I figured most everybody was gonna pick the over. So I'm going under and trying to get some points back. But I kind of agree with everything Shelby said. So that's unfortunate. I do think that notable misses to our team roster for this event, no 94-32. So like, right, in terms of algae prowess, there's some gaps, right? They were definitely our best algae bot at ARL May, so we'll have to see. I'm going to under.
Yeah, I took the. Oh, sorry about that. Is he go? No.
Yeah, the line is 0.5 alliances. So just for reference, I don't know if we mentioned that.
I don't think we.
So
did.
that is where they're falling. Gatlin,
That means one alliance, one match of co-op would be the over.
Yeah, so I'm taking the over here. I think not just for that tiebreaker, but just in terms of getting that ranking point. I think that it's going to be valuable for some team out there, probably to only have to fill 3 levels of the reef with the co-op. So I think it's probably going to happen. I'll be taking the over.
Yeah, I think just having a single match need co-op is just such a juicy over. But that being said, you would think so, right? But per Robotics, 9091 is doing a little more than 3 processor algae per match. So I feel pretty good that's going to go over, maybe even at 1.5. But I feel really good at like 1 match happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So everybody.
So what you're confirming, Scott, is my strategy is working.
I think you're under pressure after 1 week, which is a little not great for the A box up there, but.
Well, Luke is in second still, so I think things could be going worse for him. Obviously, Luke would like to be in first, but you know what? Can't always be in first. Our next over-under is fallen and beached robots. So we're upgrading that from just purely fallen robots to also beached robots. Last month, we saw 0 robots fall, and our line for this over-under is 2.5 robots. So what do you guys think?
I would like to retract.
Go ahead.
I guess I made a point earlier about it being really impressive. I think that the number of beached and fallen robots will regress back to the mean this month. So I'll take the over on 2.5.
Fallen and beached is hard now, right? And in May we had fallen separate from beached, and so I'm going the under. I think personally, my team got beached on an algae at the last event. That's not happening anymore, and I was probably like one of the 3. So I'm going the under.
I went under, kind of just for fun. But I think we had more than 3 last event. Or was it 3? Just 3? But I don't know. I feel neutral about going under, but I'm going under.
Yeah, I took the under as well. I think beaching on algae is pretty common, especially when there's a lot of congestion on the field, robots next to each other with algae on the ground. So thinking about how there's going to be some phantom robots there this weekend, I think there's going to be less congestion on each side of the field. And hopefully, for me, that results in less beaching on algae.
Did forget to mention that beaching on algae, the robot needs to be beached at the end of the game. So if it gets beached and then a robot is like a partner clears or a teammate clears them, or they clear themselves, is what I meant to say. That does not count. Has to be at the end of the match.
Even better for the under.
Almost all of us believe in the teams.
Don't do that again.
That's a tough look.
Believe in the team.
We all believe in the teams, and that's why we're here.
So our next over-under is barge RPs. Last ARL, we saw 6 alliances get the barge RP. The line is at 5.5. So if you went over on that, then you're in the clear for last ARL. Even though I'm looking at this and I see Luke has a point for that and he guessed under.
Say what now?
I don't know. I'm looking at the point totals and there might be a miscalculation, but we'll figure that out later. Barge RPs over under. What do you guys think?
Under. No, wait, I'm so sorry. Or over. I read my over. We're climbing. We did lose. Here's my thinking. We did lose 94-32. No 94-32 this month. That was a big part of the RP. But with the addition of Phantoms, more Phantoms, that means we're going to play more matches and less. So like those teams will play more, right? So we're talking about the teams that were getting off the ground consistently, like 2403, the Coconuts. If we throw in 498 into the mix, like their robots are going to be climbing more often because there'll be more matches, hopefully. And so I'm thinking over on that, the barge RP. It's only one robot needs to park.
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat but from like a different angle. I think as people play more and be more ready, they will hit the climbs more frequently. And you really only need one robot to climb to get the RP. So it feels like as the summer goes along, we should start seeing this number go up and up and up.
Yeah, I went over your face. Sorry, Galen.
No, it's all you.
The same reason. Yeah, it is definitely 94-32 got a number of those ranking points for May. But yeah, I definitely suspect some of these others will start pulling it out more. And then also maybe some others will be adding it. Climbs or something that are pretty easy to drop in on a lot of robots. It is complicated to do still, but it's a fairly solved problem so far. So like, if any teams are watching this, you can like find actual like full climbers that you can just like basically manufacture and mount on your robot. And teams should do that, and then we will get over on this for sure.
Yeah, highly recommend. Not just because I put the over.
Yeah, I took the over as well. Lost 94-32 with that climb, but 498 will be here this weekend climbing. And then, like Shelby said, hopefully some teams are looking at additions to their robots, and a climber feels like a pretty good one to be looking at. So seeing potentially some every bot climbers added, or some 2910 style wheel intake climbers maybe. I think teams will be adding climbs, so going with the over there.
And there were a number of teams who had them, and they were like actively trying to line up and get it to go at May, and just wasn't getting off the ground, right? Or they would, so I think we're all feeling pretty confident on the over.
Hopeful.
We believe in the teams. Cool.
Believe in the teams. I do retract my previous statement about Luke not hitting the under last month. We adjusted the lines, and I just didn't realize, so it counted that time. But moving on, our next one is the Reef RPs. We did not see any alliances get a Reef RP in ARL May. The line is at 0.5. Do you guys think that we will see a Reef RP this month?
I can go first. Oh, perfect. Shelby, you go first.
Oh, I feel pretty good about it. I think if there's like a number of pairings that we can have that would make it happen, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. I think teams need to like coordinate a little bit more strongly maybe than they were. And like you have to make a decision, right? Like if you are wanting to fill like the L4 crown, you're not going to get the ranking point, like for sure. So like you got to like make that plan from the start. Teams will be hitting autos more, so you can like move down sooner. I don't know. Teams should do that, I think, and can, I think.
Yeah, and for that exact reason, just flipped. Shelby hinted at or said it basically, right? I'm gonna go with the under again, because it felt like the predominant strategy in May was to do the L4 ring and win the match. And I'm curious, like if people have really turned up their autos and they want to switch faster, I think Chev was right. We can hit it. We're talking one. We're talking one alliance to hit it, right? So even though we have so many phantoms, like the odds of like coconuts plus plasma plus 991 or plus 2375, like that seems pretty safe that's going to happen. I just don't know if it's going to. So I'm going to go with the under.
Yeah, I put under, but after I talked through the co-op thing like 10 minutes ago, I should have locked the over, but I will stick to the under. Again, for the reasons Luke laid out, right? You can very easily trade 3 RP for the win, or 1 RP for the Coral RP. So teams have to be careful when making the decisions to go for that elusive Coral RP or the Reef RP.
Yeah, I took the over as well. I think, sort of like everyone was touching on, big schedule in the sky needs to bless the teams probably for this to happen. But I think that there's a lot of pairings that would be pretty likely at getting the Reef RP, especially some of these B bots or what I would call L1 specialists, whether they be kit bots or a ground intake that puts the Coral into the L1 trough. I find it really likely that L1's going to get filled with those 5 that are needed pretty often. And so then with a co-op, you would just need the other 2 robots to score 10 Coral, and without it, you would just need them to score 15. So I think that it's pretty likely. And last month, I was so confident I put over in all caps, and I was wrong. So this time, I believe in the teams
Just
again.
one cap. Just one capital letter.
No caps this time.
No caps. I mean, that's a good point. I think we kind of lacked even a kit bot L1 machine, right? Like that was just churning out L1s in May, right? So like if we do get a couple of the drivetrains with that added on, I think that you're right. I think actually the percentage, the odds go up a lot. If that just happens to be an alliance with someone who can score 15 or 12, right, and work their way, meet each other in the middle. I think that helps a ton. And honestly, one of these over-unders may influence the other, right? If we hit the over on the co-op, then we probably hit the over on the Reef RP. So,
Very true. Something to consider. Our next item is Friday load-in. This was not one of our bets last month, so we have nothing to reference. But the line is 6.5 robots. Where do you guys stand on this one?
It's kind of a random one. We need a little bit more spice. So as everybody knows, I'm going to use this as my opportunity to plug loading in on Friday. If you did load in early last month, you'll know that we had a heck of a time getting the field set up for the first time. Not all of our fault. Mostly not our fault. This time, the field is mostly assembled still, so it's going to go much, much faster, and we're committed to getting practice matches rolling around 4 p.m., so you have more time. So if you can load in at 4 p.m., we highly recommend doing so. So this is a fun line. There are 14 robots competing in this event, but not 14 teams, right? So we have several robots that are B robots, which means it's just one team bringing 2. So the line is very interesting at 6.5. I'm going to go with the over because I think people like to practice. I do believe in loading in on Friday.
I just flipped the coin and it said over, so we're going with over for this square down here in the bottom right.
Shelby, you want to go, or should I go? I have a habit of interrupting people.
Oh, no, it's all good. I can go. I just went over. 2046 will not load in on Friday, presumably. But I think most of the others are local. We get 2 gimmies for 498, hopefully.
I didn't want to mention that, but that's true. That's good. That's good observation.
So I don't know. At that point, we just need 5 other teams. 2403 usually loads in Friday. So I think we'll be in pretty good
Dragons
shape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not look. I'm terrible at knowing where in Arizona teams actually are. I just know that they're in Arizona. So I should have looked at where they are and how easy it would be to load in on Friday. I took the over, and I think if teams are up in the air on whether or not they should load in on Friday, it's a definite yes from me. Those practice matches that you get are invaluable, and then not having to scramble to load in on Saturday while everything else is going on, getting the day started is nice and peaceful.
It's a long day.
This was a great ad for loading in Friday. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Also good for getting through inspection if you need it, so that
Yeah.
the morning starts
Excellent
more
point.
easily.
Excellent point.
So, many benefits to loading in early. And our last over-under of the evening is algae popped. Last month there was 1 algae, or no, there was 0 algae.
I think there's one.
There was 1 algae popped. And the line here is 3.5 algae. So what do you guys think?
Under.
I took the under.
I took the under.
It looks like I'm standing alone on Over Island over here.
But that's, I mean, it's good, Scott. Yeah. First of all, you're playing for the all algae exhibition. So this is right up your. Second of all, you have to make up points. You're behind, so.
But, okay, so there's the silver lining on this, in that I think more teams will do more things on the field. So if you interact with algae more, then you're much more likely to see popped algae. So that's why I went with the over on this one.
Love it. Love it.
All right. Well, that is our over-unders for the evening. I believe we only have everybody's over on Friday load-in. And I think that's the only one where you guys all stand united in. So next we are going to go to our trivia for this evening.
I'm ready to avenge myself after the embarrassment of last week.
I hope you're
last
locked
month.
in.
I keep saying last week.
I did worse than you last time.
You did? I only got 2 points.
I did. I only got 1. I knew about the Tucson tussle.
Yeah, I also only got 1.
Our first question tonight is a toss-up. So you're going to guess a number, and whoever's closest to that number gets the point. And if you both guess the same number, I guess you both get the point.
Oh boy.
So there's a
that's the same number.
Mutually assured destruction.
Please no. Did not
Cooperation,
think of that.
some would say.
So it is an ARL tradition to have a series of first supplier giveaways at the ARL Championship. In the last 3 years, how many total, so not unique, but total suppliers have donated giveaways? So if a supplier has donated every year, they count for 3.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Boy.
What if a supplier's donated multiple things in the same year?
It just counts like if they make, like, say, like, example, Andy Mark donates 5 gift cards for 3 years, they only count as 3.
Got it. Okay.
So,
Wait, they do count as 3 if one supplier donated 3.
they count as 3 if they've come every year.
So like
A supplier can only count once a year.
Yeah,
correct.
but
Yeah.
they can count once a year. So
Okay, so you'd think I'd have like a really good advantage at this. I don't.
yeah,
I mean, probably better than any of the other people guessing.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't even know what like a reasonable range to be in is. I would think like more than 10 but less than 1,000. That's the range I'm looking at.
so everybody has put their answers in. Are we all locked in?
I'm locked. I'm sending it.
Yep.
Okay,
I have
so
a number
here, yes, the answer is 31. So Gatlin guessed 36
Are you
and wins
kidding
the
me?
point.
Are you kidding
Scott.
me?
Let's go.
Scott guessed 9. Shelby guessed 38, which was very close to Gatlin's guess, and then Luke guessed 40.
Let's
man.
go.
Somehow we were all in the same ballpark except Scott. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
I wanted to guess 33. I was just gonna say 11 a year.
Yeah.
What the heck?
I was thinking like 15 this past year, 15 the year before, and then like I had no idea about the first year.
I think if you like your involvement, Luke, is limited to the run of show. So because Andy Mark donates 5 gift cards, we
Yeah.
split them into multiple segments. So I think it kind of inflates the number, like, or in your head you think it's like more, but it usually is like 9 to 12 suppliers a year.
What a great ad for the ARL Championship. Y'all
Yeah.
should go. Look at the cool stuff.
If you come to the championship, you'll get some free stuff.
It's awesome.
So, yeah.
Did every team get something last year?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
I think for the last 2 years we've managed to get everybody something.
Yep.
Shout out to
ARL is for the teams, some would
Yes.
say.
our
ARL
opportunity
equals
managers.
free things.
Yes, and free matches.
Hell yeah. That was a good trivia question. I enjoyed that. That was good.
Thank
I
you.
thought you were just gonna say like pick a number between 1 and 25.
No. You gotta pull up ye old documentation binder.
Got it.
So, this next one is for ye old handbook enjoyers. So, I'm gonna read off a criteria for an ARL award, and you'll need to tell me what award. I'll give you a list or options to choose from, and you'll have to guess which award that is a criteria for. So, this team is able to explain their progress in at least one technical area, example, design, programming, manufacturing, strategy, across the course of the 2025 season, with a focus on the ARL season. So what award is this a criteria for? And your options are A, Community Connect, B, Iterative Design Award, C, Team Identity Award, or D, Breakthrough Award. So I'll read it again. The team is able to explain their progress in at least one technical area across the course of the 2025 season with a focus on the ARL season. And that could either be A, Community Connect, B, Iterative Design, C, Team Identity, or D, Breakthrough. Everybody has locked in an answer. Everybody has locked in the same answer. And everybody is wrong.
No!
It is,
Uh-oh.
it is the Breakthrough Award. And Luke, you literally write the handbook.
That is true.
I was gonna say, Luke.
I feel like
Oh.
Huh.
I wrote it and I put the right answer at the end because I knew iterative design was gonna
That trip people
trip you
up.
guys up. Yeah.
Well, I don't really have anything to say.
Yeah. So, well, somebody in the chat got it right.
I do see that.
Chat
Thank you,
gets
chat.
a point.
+1
Shout
chat.
out. +1 to chat.
Uh,
So,
dang.
really, 3 questions left. Gotta get them right.
It's not going well for me doing better than I did last month.
I'm tied with
trivia
my
did you
last
get
month
last
performance.
You got 2. You have to beat 2. You have 3 questions left. So, and these are the questions Slide Guy wrote. So
Oh,
I wrote the
Excellent.
last 2. Since its creation in 2014, how many Arizona teams have attended Chessie Champs in San Jose, California? Your options are A, 4, B, 6, C, 2, or D, 5.
Are
Wait.
these unique teams or number of attendance slots?
Unique teams. So they could have, if they attended more than one time, they only still count as one team.
Oh. Can you give me the options again? The A, B, C, D.
A, 4, B, 6, C, 2, and D, 5. Twitch chat is already plugging in their guesses. Just waiting. Oh, we've got... All right. Everyone's answers are in. And the answer is D, 5.
God.
So 1011 in 2017, 842 in 2018, 4183 in 1819, 498 in 19 and 22, and 2486 in 2022.
I forgot about 842.
Another no points for chat or our analysts. We're down bad. We need to improve on our trivia.
These are not good.
I think you guys need to start getting like a phone a friend. Or me and Slide Guy need to get our questions together. All right. Next question. Since 2015, which Arizona team has won the most Arizona regional events? So specific to Arizona regional events, you have 2403 as A, 498B, 2478C, and D, 9432. So you got to think back all the way to 2015. And your options are A, 2403, B, 498, C, 2478, and D, 9432. Everybody's got guesses in, and the answer, our analysts all answered. Oh, not Scott answered differently. The answer is B, 498. So Luke, Shelby, and Gatlin had 2478. Scott had 2403. Twitch chat had 2403 and 9432.
Wait, what was the question? Wait.
Which Arizona team has won the most Arizona regional events?
Is that real?
Do we have counts on how many each of those have won?
I do not.
believe
That
you
is a
guys.
slide. That's a Slide Guy question.
Slide Guy will talk afterwards.
Yeah, we're gonna have a discussion with Slide Guy. All right, guys. One trivia question left.
2015. Oh, all right. Yeah, one trivia question.
All right. Yes, Gatlin is leading trivia with 1 point.
Let's go.
So, which Arizona regional featured the highest percentage of Arizona teams? So from 2015 to present, which Arizona regional featured the highest percentage of Arizona teams? There's technically 2 correct answers for this.
So year and place, or
Yeah, year in regional. Which is
Okay.
Arizona something.
Dang. Not multiple choice.
No.
this is a shocking one for not being multiple choice.
Right.
You guys have to take that up with Slide Guy.
Guessing randomly.
I think
here.
I got it, but it is a shocking choice for.
What was the year bounds on this one, or is it just forever?
2015 present, just because that's when we can see the data.
Gotcha.
So that would be Arizona North, Arizona West,
West.
Arizona East,
East,
Arizona
Arizona
Valley,
Valley.
Arizona. That's it.
In Arizona.
We were doing Phoenix back then, so weren't we?
Were we? 2015 we had 2. GC
Yeah,
was
actually-
the first GCU year.
Yeah, I think that was actually the Slide Guy's reasoning, was that was the first year that we did 2
So I'll never forget the Tater's like weird crane arm thing, the trash can. I saw that at Arizona, and the fry broths were there.
Shout out.
Talking about a lot of non-Arizona teams. Is that a hint?
Yeah. Well, we're
Uh,
waiting on we've
And
got
the bit buckets were there.
all of our answers are locked in. The answer is 2019-2018 Arizona West, with 98% of attendance being Arizona teams.
I'm on the
so
board.
If you guess either of those years, Arizona West, you're on the board. Luke gets a point.
On the board.
We had 2016 Arizona West, 2016 Arizona North, and 2023 AZ East. As our other guesses from the analysts, chat was got it right with both 2018 and 2019 Arizona West. So
Now, the flip side of...
North, I feel like, had one of the higher out-of-state percentages. That's when, like, 125 came.
That was... Yeah, North is really high.
First year of it.
Yeah, that was a bad guess on my part.
yeah,
I'll do better next time, chat.
Was just the wrong guess.
I just love Flagstaff. It's a great place.
The
I think
reverse...
out-of-state teams do too, which is why they go.
Which is why they go. The reverse to that question is also fun. What's the out-of-state teams that came to 2019 AZ West or 2018 AZ West?
Well, I was thinking just like which Arizona regional featured the highest percentage of non-Arizona teams. Maybe we'll find out next month.
Oh.
Don't look that up.
I won't look it up, but that's a great question.
Yeah.
AZ North seems to be a good indicator.
Yeah, a good, pretty solid.
I'll keep my answer the same.
Actually, it depends on how far back we go, because anyway.
All right, we're gonna keep on moving on here. We are going to go into our next game. Name that AZ team.
Love this
We're gonna
game.
do this rapid fire so we can get to our predictions. Slide Guy is gonna put in our Discord channel a picture of a team with their bumpers blurred out. And then Luke will throw it up on the screen. And
Yep.
you guys will have to guess what robot that is. I actually need to look up the answers to this.
All right, so I'm going to put the first one on the screen now. Please play along in chat as I play along myself. And are we putting the year or are we just putting the team number, right?
I think it just needs to be the team number.
I think we just put the team number. Year if you're feeling saucy.
Yeah, if you know your stuff, put the year.
But I watched last month's episode. I know that the secret is to look in the background or look at the robot cart. So
Yep. Background of robot cart could be a huge indicator. Huge indicator. What do we think, chat? Someone will have to let me know when we're all locked in. I'm locked in.
I'm locked in.
I have an answer.
All
I have
right.
no idea.
Context
All right.
clues. Context clues.
The answer here is 1726. The nerds.
The nerds.
And what is Luke? What was your read here? Because Luke got that right, and Gatlin got that right. What was the read on why this is the nerds?
Going back to the picture here for a second. The nerds, well-known wood-bought goats of Arizona. So the wood was a dead giveaway to me.
That's the exact same thing I saw. Can always recognize their robots with a nice natural touch to them.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So our next robot, we'll let Luke put that up on the screen.
Yep.
Slide Guy.
I'm locked.
Well, here
I don't
have to
see
send
it.
the picture. Slide Guy
Oh.
is slacking, so hold on.
Slide Guy,
I'm
what's
sending-
happening, my guy?
I'm sending the picture, but then I almost copied the wrong
There it is.
picture.
It's there. Sorry, folks. Chat, you can play. It's been up here a while. Everybody should know.
I like the blur effect on the numbers here.
That's nice. That's nice. Pretty decent guesses. Guess in the chat. Don't mind the year. It's a pretty good year.
No clue.
Again, context clues. Context clues. That's a really good guess that I just saw come in on the chat. That's a good guess based on the context clues.
Let me make sure that this team number is accurate. Yeah, okay.
Keep hearing context clues, but I'm still looking for the
know.
context.
I know, me too.
Right.
I have
Well,
no idea.
there's a black sneaker in the background
Right.
on the
Right.
red
What
carpet.
team?
Right.
What team wears black sneakers?
Is everybody locked?
Yep.
Let's check. Everybody. Yes. All right. The correct answer is 498. 2016.
2016.
Luke, would you like to clue us in on what the context clue that I missed was?
Absolutely, I would love you. I would love you. I would love to. Whoops. Here's the context clue. 498 color the Cobra blue of that pole.
Of the poll.
The middle.
That's all I
The
got.
team I picked also has blue as a color.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
So
Read the context
I-
clues.
I saw a guess for 60 in the chat. That's a really good guess. It's a really good guess. If you were going just based off context clues, that's really good. No, I remember distinctly this was 498 because I was really scared of these fork things on the front of it when I saw them at North in 2016. They were. Also, I don't think they made it to the end of the event. Like, I think they broke off then. They blew
Yeah.
up.
Real
yes.
2016 things.
That
All right,
robot
up
won
next.
Arizona North. Arizona history. That robot won Arizona North with 125 and 2122.
Shout out. All right. Our next robot has been posted in the chat.
Sorry,
for
chat.
our
I can
analysts.
zoom out for you, chat. There we go. Chat, you prefer zoomed out or zoomed in? I'll just. Oh boy. Oh, good luck with the context clues on this one.
Come on, slide guy.
Lost my spreadsheet. Oh, found it.
I also lost my spreadsheet. Hold up. There we go.
There's a big context clue in this one.
There is.
This is a tough one.
Context clues, Luke.
Context clues.
Me
I
and
got
Slide
none.
Guy are gonna have a discussion.
I don't got it. Alright, I'm locked. But I'm not confident.
The answer is 1828. And if you zoom in on the t-shirt, you can actually see their logo.
Oh, bro. Dude, Braxton with the
Context.
freaking
Context clues.
chat with the snipe. Holy moly, there it is. Context clues,
Yeah.
they were there the whole time. Did any of us get that right?
Yes, Gatlin and Scott.
Did you guys zoom in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw the
Oh.
8.
Is it allowed?
Is that a number?
Bro, I choked.
Is zooming in frowned upon?
No, that's part of the
I tried zooming
game.
in and it was too blurry. So that was unfortunate.
It's all part of the game. I choked.
But initially, with like the numbers just on the left side of the bumpers, I was like, it's probably a 3-digit team. And then I saw the shirt.
The shirt was a good. I was trying to figure out what colorway that was, but Boxer Boss is exactly right. Dang, good job, everyone. That's sick.
Yeah.
Good work.
All right, next robot.
Oh, I have to zoom in super hard on this one. Give me a second. All right, there we go. Boom. Oh, this is a gimme.
For context clues. Let's see what Twitch chat has to say.
Twitch chat really coming alive during the Guess the Robot, but where the heck were all y'all during the
Yeah.
during the multiple choice? I need your help during the trivia.
No cheating.
Are you letting the chat influence
Wait.
your decisions?
No, if I did that, I would have gotten the last one right.
Yeah.
No.
Always time to look at chat after you lock in your answer.
I do. I'm locked.
All right, everybody's locked. Everybody gets a point. The answer is 4183. And what
That
is
laser cut wood.
Yeah.
So I did use the moniker of the Wood Goats of Arizona earlier on the nerds, but let's not forget before the buckets are now they do a lot of metal work now, but they used to be
They used to be the laser cut goats.
Yeah.
Very good. Good
All
work,
right.
everyone.
Yes, one robot left, and then we'll head into our predictions for the evening.
Oh, I gotta really zoom out. Yikes. Here we go.
Yeah, what a pretty robot.
Yeah, I know this one right away. I'll never forget this robot. Unless I say that and I'm wrong, that would be heartbreaking.
This context clues. Context clues.
I can tell that this picture was taken at my alma mater by the chairs in the background.
That's the context clue, the yellow and the red chair. Context clue. Which would make this Arizona Valley West.
The events at that venue have changed names a few times.
Yeah, it would be an east or a valley.
East or Valley. We had east
So in
and
this case,
west
it would have been east. I think it was east and west this year, right? It was at Chaparral and at Cactus.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. I'm locked.
All right,
too.
everybody is locked, and the answer is Team 60. So Luke, Shelby, and Gatlin pick up a point. Scott guessed 41-46.
That's not a bad guess.
No.
Unfortunately for you, Scott, context clue miss. I believe
4146,
4146 is sitting next to them.
In the corner, yeah.
So,
I mean,
Alright.
4146 is in the picture.
I mean,
Half point?
the guest slot might need the half point.
No half points here. Oh, unfortunately. Next up, those are all of the fun guessing games for the eve. Actually, well, we're gonna do a little more guessing, but we're gonna head into our traditional prediction segments. So our first one is win, place, show. Our analysts have to guess somebody who will win, someone who will place, which is placing is, I believe, top 16, Luke?
Top 3, sorry.
Top 3 is place. Oh, and
Top
then
3.
show is playoff.
Sorry, top
right?
5?
I thought it was top 4.
Top.
I thought you had the captain.
Win. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. You're right. Yes. Win was to win the event. Doesn't matter from where you're at. Place is to captain one of the top 3. And then the show is just to make playoffs. Right.
Wait, sorry. I thought place was top 4 because there's 4 alliances.
Sorry, 4. Yes, sorry, 4. Top 4. Captain one of the top.
But you don't actually have to captain, right? You just have to rank top 4.
Correct. That's right. That's right. Rank top 4, and then show is just make playoffs. And then the reminder for everyone playing at home, the teams that were used, like all the teams that we used as guesses for ARL May, they are off the board completely. So, like, for example, I used Plasma 2403. I used them in my place slot last event, which I got points for, but I can't use them anymore. I can't use them for the win. I can't use them for the place. I can't use them for the show. They are gone. They're off the board altogether. Okay.
I'll go first since I gotta hop off here in a minute. But for win, I didn't use 2403 last week, so feel pretty solid about 2403 getting the win. For place, I put 10506. They finished 6th in May. I don't know. I think that seems reasonable, slightly risky, but reasonable. And then I threw 996 as a show. They were, in my opinion, a solid third robot They had like a good auto and were able to contribute meaningfully. So I felt pretty good about that. And then I'm going to hop to my Golden Alliance really quick, which I put captain will be 2403, first pick 498, second pick 2375B. I think that would be a super fun alliance. Would love to see it.
Excellent. Gatlin, you want to go next?
Yeah, for win, I did not use 2403 last month, so I'm going to take them with the win. They always do well at these early ARLs. For place, I'm taking 2375, the Dragons. I think they have a great robot, and just see an improvement from them. And then for show, I'm going with the Blue Crew, 8848. They always build sweet robots, and I'm excited to see them out at ARL this weekend.
I can hop in real quick. So mine's very similar to Gatlin. It's hard not to pick the winner of the previous event. 2403 looked great, so I expect them to do great again. Always a big fan of 2375, and they're looking very successful this season too. I will diverge a little bit from the previous hosts with 991. They made a really deep elims run during the season. I expect them to do that again this time.
Agreed. All right, to wrap up, I still have 498 on the board. I unfortunately used both Plasma and 2486, 2403 and 2486 in our first event, so they're both off the board for me. And with no 9432 competing this event, I'm taking 498 in the win slot. I'm also taking 2375 in the place slot for all the reasons given. And then I'm taking 8848 in the show slot. I think they're super solid. Yeah. So then
Yeah. So a lot of hype for the Dragons, for Plasma, for 8848, across the board. Shelby very lucky to still have 2403 open, I think, in a win position.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the win place show guesses for our analysts. Twitch chat, you're welcome to join in. But next, we're going to go to our Golden Alliance. That will be captain, first pick, second pick. And Luke, do you want to kick us off there?
Yep. So the Golden Alliance, if you nail this completely, your score is multiplied by 3 or 2. I haven't really decided yet. When someone hits it, we'll figure it out. It's probably multiplied by 3.
Nobody got it last month.
It's really hard. My Golden Alliance for ARL June, I'm taking captain 2403, their first pick 498, and they're rounding out their alliance 996. I believe that Plasma, with all the practice they got at May, and they continuing to iterate on their auto and their really dominant floor pickup, will easily seed 1. I think they'll win all their matches, especially if they get their climb more consistent. I think then they'll look for maybe an algae scoring robot to like remove algae from the reef, and so if 498 can perform that role, then I think that's a nice pickup for them. And then I think they round that out with 996 for actually all the reasons Shelby said. I think 996 has played really well at May, and I think that they'll get better as we go, and so I think they'll be a solid pick left availables.
Scott, how about you?
Since I picked 2403 to win it all in the previous section, still got to pick him again. But I will take 2486 as the first pick of the alliance. They were finalists last event, and so I would assume with one extra event under their belt, they're going to be even better. And so I expect that the two 2000 teams or 2400 teams will pair up, and then on the way back up, they'll pick up 991. If they're there, then that alliance is completely unstoppable.
Yeah. If only 2478 was joining us, you could have the whole. You could have the whole 24.
You can have all the 24s.
Yeah. Gatlin, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going with 2403 as the captain here. I think that they're just looking pretty dominant, so expecting a big performance from them in quals and to end up as the number 1 ranked team. And then I'm thinking they're going to go with 498 with their first pick, a robot that seems like it can just sort of do it all, complement any role that 2403 might want them to play. And then as the second pick, I'm thinking it's going to be 2375B as a L1 specialist.
It's a good pick. Man, that's a good. We haven't really mentioned 2375B, but they also
They won last time.
Yeah, they won the last event.
Yeah. They've got the it factor.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
Mhm.
So that wraps up our predictions for this evening. So to recap of what we know at this point, Luke and Gatlin have both picked up 5 points. Shelby and Scott have both picked up 2.
Wait, Izzy, wait. I picked up 5 points. Hold on. 17.
Wait.
Boom. We'll update the scores live. Bang. I forgot to do that during the show. So
Yes. Shelby has picked up 2 points, Gatlin has picked up 5 points, and Scott has picked up 2 points. But really, the biggest jump in difference can be made in those Win Plays Show, Golden Alliance, and Over-Unders, and we will not know those until
how much
the
did
end of there.
how much did Scott pick up for the guest slot?
2.
2. Valiant effort there, Scott. The fans of the All Algae exhibition are behind you.
I'm behind Scott right now. Because I think that would be funny. So
We'll probably throw more algae onto the field than normal, right? Completely fill the reef.
yeah, I think so. That would be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put out a stray lollipop if you must. It'd be lots of fun. So.
Awesome.
Well, that is it for our show. Luke, do you have anything last notes for our audience ahead of ARL that we need to review?
Yeah, I guess looking forward to seeing everyone. It's going to be hot, so please make sure to bring enough water for you and your team. Pit setups are going to be the same as before, so just come on in Friday. We open. The pit's open at 4. You can load in. I want to thank everyone for being on this evening. I know Shelby had to dip early, but Scott, I really appreciate you coming on for our guest slot here.
It was a lot of fun. Thanks for having me.
Awesome. And Gatlin, good to have you back.
Happy to be here.
Izzy, I appreciate you hosting and putting together some of the games, and Sly Guy behind the scenes for creating the other games, and especially doing the photos of the robots. That's probably, I think, the most enjoyed section of the show. Yes. So that's actually that's really fun. So thank you to everyone putting it together.
Yes. And we'll check in next week with updates on scores. So have a wonderful evening, everyone. We'll be live Friday, Saturday, so you can catch a bit of practice if you want. That's something new we did last month, is going live on practice day. But yeah, we'll see you then.